For more than 4 decades, I've worked as the director of the Hippocrates Health Institute in a nutritional capacity with our medical team of physicians, nurses, etc. And of course, we're best known worldwide for people coming to us from every part of the globe with either disorders or to prevent premature aging. And we see many diseases and disorders. And the first I'd like to speak about is auto-reflux, the new terminology we have for acid conditions in the digestive and elimination canal. This has become a crisis and very common because as we eat more and more non-foods, as we eat more and more chemicalized foods, now genetically modified, quote, foods, we're going to see more disruption in the digestive and elimination canal. And so the unfortunate way that it's being dealt with is to suppress this regurgitated acid that's trying to leave the body because it shouldn't be there. And it's generally caused from meat and dairy consumption, flour products, allergic reactions. Gluten may be one, dairy may be another. And this is something that if you consume a plant-based diet, and in great part a raw plant-based diet, consuming the alkaline foods and juices that you make from these plants, and then take particular herbs or even raw apple cider vinegar mixed in water, it can be very helpful, in fact, with auto-reflux disease. High blood sugar is called diabetes. You have low blood sugar, hypoglycemia, diabetes, high blood sugar. The scale is usually what's below 65. If it's chronically below 65, it's hypoglycemia. If it's above 115, diabetes. Now, this is one of the most frightening disorders today because it was virtually non-existent a century ago, and it's growing in leaps and bounds. The number one cause for diabetes is not sugar, it's fat consumption. When you look at fat, most of that again comes from fish and chicken and pork and red meat, dairy food, and the list goes on, eggs. All of those saturated fats literally surround the cell, which one of the inherent and natural foods for cells are glucose. So in salad, for instance, a green salad, part of what you're getting, deriving from that salad, is glucose. And it's a perfect fuel to energize that cell. But if I have that cell covered and surrounded by animal-based fats, the sugar cannot go into the cell and be burned up, so it remains in the bloodstream. This is why we call diabetes a blood sugar disorder. And so that's why you may notice the vast majority of people that you see who have diabetes type 2 are overweight or obese or morbidly obese. Now you may have a thin person who you may not know has exceptional weight. They may have a high body fat count though. And so almost all of these people I've worked with over 4 decades literally fall into this category. Then once that happens, putting extra sugar in has an insulin reaction out of your pancreas, causing a gyration of going up and down. And it's a catch-22. So when the blood sugar goes down, you tend to want to go and eat more sugar to feel like you're stable. When I've seen thousands and thousands of people adapt a healthy Hippocrates plant-based lifestyle and reverse this disease, and let me repeat, over the 4.5 decades I've done this work, I've seen thousands of people reverse type 2 diabetes. That's because we get rid of the animal-based fats, we get rid of all sugars, including fruit sugar, and we give this incredibly high protein diet to them, this plant-based protein diet. Protein is not meat. That's something that's been driven into your head by the meat and the dairy industry. What you have is all protein comes from plants. And this is the highest protein diet in the world. Protein stabilizes blood sugar and helps people rid themselves of it. In the past, Dr. Fontana from Washington University, St. Louis came in and did a little research study at Hippocrates and let us know that the average cholesterol point drop in a 21 day period was 50 points on the plant-based Hippocrates diet. Now, most of you are all excited if you drop 2 points because you gave up eating bacon in the morning. It's not good enough. What you have to do, literally, is to give up bacon permanently and all the other entrapments that we call food, and literally start to eat a rich, nutritious diet. And that's how you get rid of cholesterol. By the way, the body does not need to eat cholesterol. It produces healthy cholesterol. And cholesterol is really important. The brain works, all the organ systems of the body, the metabolism works with cholesterol. So your healthy bodies will produce more than adequate amount of this incredibly important lipid. So when you eat animals, for instance, one egg has about 230 grams of cholesterol. Even governments that are in bed with the meat and dairy industry tell you that you shouldn't eat more than 300 grams a day, which is completely wrong. You should eat none. Your body produces what you need. So cholesterol is an easy one to attack. You don't need medicines for it. You need to change your lifestyle. Obesity is something that we work with more and more by the year. When I was young, I was ahead of my time, unfortunately. I was overweight and obese before most people in North America were. And I lost 120 pounds in about a year and a half. And all I did is give up the major culprits. And let's talk about the major culprits. It was not only the animal-based foods, but it was the lethargia. I would sit around, I would complain when I had to walk and exercise. So you have to relish movement. You have to learn that the body was always moving and doing aerobic exercise and building muscle by lifting things. And up until very recently, 5 or so generations ago, it wasn't an option to exercise. Pretty much all of our forebears were farmers, and that required lifting weight and doing aerobic and doing stretching exercise. So again, adopting healthy exercise patterns, getting rid of the fattening foods, and the worst of all is sugar. Number one is sugar. In my book, Sweet Disease, I spend a lot of time discussing how if I wanted to make myself or somebody else fat, I could give them any form of sugar and it will work. Thank goodness last week I finally saw a study out of Britain that said taking organic smoothies is going to put weight on your body, because fruit sugar will put weight on your body in a very similar way to white sugar, dextrose, sucrose, etc. Many of you out there listening have been lulled into believing that there's healthy sugar and unhealthy sugar. I'm here to tell you there's no such thing as a healthy processed sugar. And when you have a weight problem, I'm going to tell you to even stop eating fruits and certainly stop drinking fruit juices. Start exercising and stop eating animal-based foods.